the best way to resolve this to make sure that to reduce the shoplifting would be for the government to actually enforce the law. I've heard a lot about shoplifting being pretty out of control these days in certain parts of the country. Like, I've seen the Tim Pool video of the grocery store that literally just has cardboard cutouts that pretty much make it like the North Korean grocery store from the movie The Interview. For those of you who haven't seen it, okay, I just spoiled it. But Kim Jong-un puts up this nice looking grocery store to make it seem like North Korea's a pretty good place, but then James Franco's character is there, and then he discovers they were fake. It's a whole thing. Go watch the movie. But the whole shoplifting phenomenon brings us to today's article. CVS was so worried about shoplifting that it stole its own soul. From the Washington Post, an opinion piece by Matt Bai. And you can see a deodorant stick in a glass bottle. Before I get into this opinion piece and find out how CVS how CVS's soul was shoplifted essentially, be sure to give this video a like, comment what you think is a good solution to all this. And yes, I know that areas like San Francisco are basically reducing shoplifting to a misdemeanor, which unfortunately does embolden more people to go for it instead of just, I don't know, enforcing the law. I mean, I'm not saying that every single shoplifter has to put through, be thrown in supermax prison, but there has to be some kind of consequences. Give this video a like and subscribe for daily videos, cultural commentary from Zillennial Nexus, a man caught between generations. Here we go. I always come back to the CVS, even though the pharmacy feels like the gate for an overbooked flight. And even though the self-checkout kiosk routinely malfunctions and tells me to wait for assistance from an employee who no longer works there because they've been replaced by self-checkout kiosks. I've come back not just because it's convenient, but because it's relaxing. I like to roam the deserted aisles at night and consider the myriad of ways in which the bounty of 21st century pharmacology might improve my life. What if my hands could truly be moist? What combination of vitamins might heighten my chances of grasping string theory? Except now, I'm standing in front of the oral care aisle, and something has changed. Virtually all of those mysterious products are now encased in glass. It's like someone has turned the CVS I know into a museum of the American pharmacy. The only thing missing from the lifelike diorama is a wax employee with a pricing gun. I ring the service bell, and within a couple minutes, a nice young woman appears with a key and wordlessly opens the case. She stands there, expressionless, while I examine the whitening strips my son has requested. The problem is that I don't know anything about whitening strips, although of course I've imagined the ways in which they could improve my smile. The descriptions on the boxes are obscured by yet another layer of security. Some intertwined cable system that makes me think Spider-Man might have been here. I'm not sure how to choose. If your son named the brand, I mean, are you able to communicate with your son in that moment about the specifics? Look, I think I'm just gonna jump ahead here to my solution. This is why online ordering might be a better solution at this point. You know, you have confirmation that it's you, you're able to pick it up, and you're able to leave, and you're able to know whether you're able to get it or not. We'll talk more about that at the end. Getting back to the article, in the old CVS, I'd have happily spent 5 minutes idly breaking down the pros and cons, but now, this poor woman is standing there watching and waiting, and I'm self-conscious. She's the only one working here. She has things to do. It's not like the CVS has assigned me a personal shopper. I ask for her advice, and I can tell she wants to be helpful, but this is the CVS, and we all know that the employees are basically silent observers. The guy who buckles you into the tilt-a-whirl doesn't come along for the ride. I think they're pretty much the same, she says hopefully. Again, you should have gotten more specifics from your son before going in. Honestly, this is why the day I went to trade in my Switch 1, just in case the Target at the mall might have had the Switch 2 Pro controller I was hoping to get, I literally sent a screenshot of the Target app page for that to my mom so that she could take a look for me while I was standing in line at GameStop, waiting to eventually trade in my Switch 1, the Wii remotes, and a couple of other things at some point that day. It was a long line. Spoiler alert! Target did not have it. She was able to confirm that for me. She was able to send me a text while I was in line. So I was able to give up any hope of picking one up at Target. Back to the article. I've written countless stories on Deadline from the floors of airport terminals. I once gave a speech with acute laryngitis, but the pressure I'm feeling here is more than I can stand. I grab a random box, and the woman quickly locks the case before I can change my mind. Um, I say, I think I'm going to need something else. Just ring the bell, she says cheerfully, walking away. 40 seconds later, 2 aisles over, I do exactly that. And when my friend reappears and opens the case, I grab the first 3 bottles of body wash I see. I cannot subject her to another round of anguished vacillation. I have to look that up. Vacillation. The inability to decide between different opinions or actions. Indecision. We're not picking out a puppy here. Honestly, this is exactly why I think online ordering would solve this problem. At this point, you're better off just ordering from Amazon for delivery if this is how it's going to be with the in-store experience. Like, if Star Market ever becomes anything even remotely like this, I will literally just order delivery from here on out. I will actually sign up for Fresh Pass again. I will never set foot in the store if it ever becomes anything like this. When I get home, having dropped 80 bucks, I find that everything I've bought is wrong. The whitening strips aren't strips at all. They're some kind of serum. The body wash isn't body wash. It's actually body lotion. Which, trust me on this, does not achieve the same goal. You didn't look at them when you were buying them. Now, why should I judge? Last week I forgot to get a bag of sausage links and I had to make a second trip on 2 days later. When I return these items, there's a different employee at the counter, and she asks me if I've opened any of them. I say no. Are you lying? She asks cheekily. I should probably be offended by this, but I'm not. If body lotion is so valuable that it has to be kept in a glass vault, then I guess it's reasonable to wonder what kind of game I'm running. Plus, I seem suspiciously well hydrated. A little research tells us what's going on here. As you might have read, CVS and other pharmacies have been struggling to contain a rise in thefts by gangs of fast-moving thieves. Unfortunately for CVS, the solution might be worse for business than the organized shoplifting. Yeah, I've heard about the organized shoplifters, I think. I believe they shoplift to sell for a profit at lower than what the store sells. That's what I vaguely remember. It was some time ago, but still. The fact this is happening is completely insane, and I don't blame CVS for taking these measures. Honestly, this is exactly what mobile ordering is for. According to a recent survey, less than 1 in 3 shoppers at CVS are willing to hang around once they realize the item they want is behind glass. CVS is testing a mobile app that would enable you to unlock the case yourself. How this cuts down on theft? I really don't know. I agree. How, oh god, how is that going to stop the person from being able to just. I guess it's maybe if someone ends up shoplifting it, they're able to track the phone. I mean, that's one way to do it. I mean, it's kind of why stealing someone's phone is kind of pointless these days because, at least in terms of trying to get parts or something, they are trackable or trying to resell it. Yeah, you can. Ryan George put it best in his video where trying to commit a crime in 2020, I think, was kind of pointless. But yeah, I think the best solution is use the app to put in your order and they bring it out to you after confirming that it is you. There's always going to be some kind of trade-off, although ideally the jurisdictions these places are in would just enforce the law so that it doesn't happen as often. It would still happen from time to time, but it would happen less often. I'm no marketing whiz, but it seems to me that CVS, like a lot of brick and mortar businesses these days, is confused about which business it's actually in. CVS might think it's still in the business of helping you restock your toothpaste and body wash, like a giant vending machine, but plenty of online sites are doing that more cheaply and just as reliably. What your neighborhood chain can offer is the chance to wander down an aisle and suddenly find some new cucumber scented lotion to a solution to a problem you didn't even know you had. It's the possibility store. If I were running CVS, I'd think a bit longer term. Maybe invest in security guards and sales clerks, people who could help preserve the experience of retail discovery. As it stands, though, I can't go back. Life is full of stressful decisions you end up regretting. Body wash shouldn't be one of them. You know what? I have to look up if CVS is on the stock market. Of course, shareholders are probably the ones who are being like, implement self-checkout, bring costs down so we can have our infinite growth, bruh. I hate the way that publicly traded companies have to push for profit over people, or they have to find some way to just make more money the next quarter. They can't just take the L for at least one quarter, because fiduciary responsibility, shareholders can sue. That whole system is just broken right there. I'm sorry. Of course, the best way to resolve this, to make sure that, to reduce the shoplifting, would be for the government to actually enforce the law. You know, they don't mention in the article, where exactly is this CVS that Matt went to? Is it in San Francisco? Boston? New York City? I'd really like to know. Now, I don't know about the city of Boston having this kind of thing go on, but I know for a fact that San Francisco and New York City are in similar boats like this. But yeah, if the government isn't going to enforce the laws for that, then shareholders are probably saying, well, no, shareholders only care about making more money or seeing the infinite growth. What they're probably trying to do is trying to still have someone be able to help for someone who either doesn't have a smartphone, or elderly people like my grandparents who wouldn't be able to figure it out for the life of them. Me personally, I like online ordering anyway, so I think the only solution at this point is to just switch to online ordering, embrace the digital future, use the use it as a tool. Like, for example, yesterday I ordered a, no, I don't want to say too much about that, because I think if I say too many specifics about what I buy on Amazon, the scammers will be able to actually identify when to send package package alerts, the fake ones. So you know what? I'm gonna wrap it up here for the video. TLDR, the government should actually enforce the law so it doesn't happen as often. And if they aren't willing to do that, I think we, the law-abiding citizens, are just gonna have to learn to use online ordering or same-day delivery or shipping so that we don't have to deal with this. Like, if you know what kind of body wash you want to get, you can buy it in bulk. You can get toothpaste and such in bulk. Honestly, why are you even buying this stuff at CVS? You should be buying it in bulk. That's what I do. Anyway, be sure to give this video a like, comment your thoughts on all this, and subscribe for daily videos of cultural commentary from a man caught between generations, and I will see you soon.